Hi there, Mar Haddad here again. In this video, I'm going to show you a very nice feature which is on Cisco IOS, which is normally it's hidden, so we don't see the configuration or the command that makes for us what we want to do now. So the idea of this video came from one of my students. He said to me, I just joined now to a new job, and in this job we use EIGRP routing protocol. He doesn't have any documentation, and his boss told him he needs to add one router to configure EIGRP, and this EIGRP has to be connected to the network. He doesn't have any documentation. He does not know what is the password on the other Cisco routers in the company. He doesn't have anything. He said, I have a task, I want to finish it today. So can you help me to solve this problem? Of course, I help him offline, but then I said, well, maybe it's good that I can show a video. So how you can retrieve the autonomous system that is used on EIGRP, even though that you don't have access to the other router and you don't know what is the autonomous system used. So how can you retrieve that? So this is what we're going to do in this lab. Let's go now to see what is the lab scenario. So my lab scenario is very simple. I do have here a Cisco router, and I do have a Cisco router. I'm the one responsible on this router too. Router 1 is configured already with EIGRP, but I don't know what is the autonomous system. I don't know what is the IP they are using over here. I don't know anything about this router. I don't have access to this router to discover all this. So my task is that I want at the end this router 2 to be able to communicate with EIGRP here. So the most important point is how to find the autonomous system, because you know on EIGRP they should have both the same autonomous system so they can communicate EIGRP to each other. So I'm going to do some trick on router 2 to discover what is the autonomous system, because you know on EIGRP there are some update messages that are sent from EIGRP on multicast address 2240010. So what I can do, once this EIGRP update message is being sent to here, then this router, I can do something there and I can enable the debug. And with the debug, I can find out what is the autonomous system. Now, the debug that I'm going to use is not something really you can find it on the commands. So if you search for it on Cisco, you don't find it. So it's a hidden debug. And then I'm going to show you how you can do that. And then we will discover the autonomous system, and then we configure router 2 as EIGRP, and we see if they are going to communicate to each other. So at this moment, I don't know anything about router 1, but of course, because I'm at the lab, so I configured already EIGRP here. And on this router, I only know that I should put an IP on this interface from the range of 192.168.12. something. So I'm going to use 192.168.12.2. I put it here, and that's it. That's all what I can do on router 2. And now I can show you how we can discover the autonomous system. Then we can configure EIGRP here, and we'll see if it's going to work. So let's start directly with the work. So I'm here now on router 2. I will go to the configure terminal. And as I said, this interface is gigabit 0/0. I will put an IP address on it of 192.168.12.1. Should be the 255.255.255.0. And I will say no shutdown. Then if I say do show IP interface brief, we can see that it has received this IP. So this interface, if you look back to the picture, this interface is connected to this interface gigabit 0/0. So if you want, the best idea to do is to, for example, say show CDP neighbors, so we can see if we can see the neighbor, and here we see it. So at least we know that there is a neighbor now to us, which is router 1, and which is on this interface. But we don't know what is the IP address of the router 1 on the interface 0/0. And that's important. We want to discover it because the EIGRP update message is being sent from that IP address. So now what we need to do, we have to start now the implementation to discover what is first the IP address that is set on the router 1 gigabit 0/0. So in this case, I'm going to say, I'm going to create an access list, which is an extended access list. So I'll say 100, let's put it 100. And then I will say permit EIGRP Any. What I'm saying here that any EIGRP message, then match it. Okay, from any source to any destination. So that's what I now need to do, and then I can do the debug. So I would say debug IP packet, and then question mark, and then we are going to debug the packets which are on match on this access list, which are the EIGRP update message actually, and then enter. So now we wait a little bit until the update message is coming from the other router. So here we go. This is one update message. You can see this. Let's stop the debug, undebug all. You can see that it's coming from the source 192.168.12.1, and this is, as I said, this is the update message multicast address. So I know now, at least I know that this is the IP which is on router 1 gigabit 0/0. And if you want, we can try to ping it. 192.168.12.1, and it should work. Here we go. So very good. I know now that the IP from the other side is 192.168.12.1. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another access list, but this time I want to say that anything coming only from the source. All right, so let's do that. I will create another access list, and now it is 101. And I will say permit EIGRP. So here we have to mention the source. So I'm gonna say the host 192.168.12.1 and destination any. So any EIGRP traffic coming from that source, then match it, and then I will do a debug for it. So that's it. Now, again, I will go to the debug. I will say debug IP packet 101. Now, if I say just 101 like I did for the previous one, then we don't see the autonomous system. We can see just the normal, like this one, that we have already seen it. So this doesn't help. I will stop it. So what other options we have? Debug IP packet 101. If I make question mark, we have detail. Let's check what is the detail. So if I do that one detail, and now we say undebug all. So what is the difference between this and this? So there is not a lot of difference. It's only that it shows here the protocol 88. So also it doesn't help me to find the autonomous system. I really need to know what is the autonomous system on the EIGRP. So what I can do, over here you can see if we just say question mark, that's the only two options you have, detail or you press and enter. Now there is a hidden one, that's what I said, it's called dump. So look, I just make dump and I make enter, it takes it. So look what's gonna happen now. You will get some information. All right, let's get it second time and then stop it. Very good. So we got some information. Let's look at this second one here. It's actually the same. This and this are the same. So here, what you can do, you can check for the one which are all zeros like this one. So we look at this one, and then we look at the last numbers over here. We see 32. Very good. So 32 is on hexadecimal, and this is the autonomous system that is being sent from router 1. So if I open a calculator and I make here on hexadecimal 32, then this says the decimal is 50. So that is the conversion between the hexadecimal and the decimal. So decimal is 50, that means the autonomous system is 50 that is used on router 1. Well, let's try, let's see if it's gonna work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure now EIGRP on router 2 with autonomous system 50. So let's do configure terminal, router EIGRP, and now we have to say autonomous system 50. And I will say no auto summary, and then network 192.168.12.0.0.0.255, and then enter. All right, here we go. You can see directly, so it made a new adjacency, so it's a new neighbor with this router. And now if I say show EIGRP, show IP EIGRP, and then I can say neighbors. Here we go. So it has formed neighbor with router 1. Excellent. So you can see that how we can find out the autonomous system using the hidden command, which is dump. Another command we can use if you want, for example, show IP EIGRP interfaces, then also shows which interface is having EIGRP. Excellent. So this way you can find out what is the autonomous system for the router that is connected to you. Then you can manage to put the autonomous system on your router and you can form adjacency. So this is all what I wanted to show you in this video. It's a very nice video, and also it's a tricky one. So we have used the hidden command, which is dump on the debug, and we could retrieve the autonomous system from the update message that is being sent from router 1. If you like my way of teaching, please do not forget to put like on the video, subscribe, and click on the bell so you are being notified for my new videos when they are uploaded on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your time, and see you next time.